Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining me here for the Taz Effect Daily News in a way you did not know you could use. For those listening in over the radio airwaves at gcpr.live, thank you for tuning in. And those listening and watching through Facebook, Substack, YouTube, and TikTok, thank you for joining. Today is Fun News Friday, where we take a gander around the social media streets and bring you some interesting things. Let's start off. If you are viewing, then you notice behind me is a picture. It's a side by side. One with the very stoic face, hey Nana J, is the original picture. The other with the crying face is doctored propaganda coming from the United States federal government. Yeah, they're upping the ante. The majority of the country is not in approval of what the federal government is doing. Not with immigration, not with Venezuela, not with this Greenland mess, none of it. And before you go, that's not true. What I see on social media is lies. Is lies. But let me remind you all of something, okay? What you speak into the universe is what you will receive. So many of you all that are getting online trolling people, saying that Trump is doing such a great job when you know that they're not, and you know that you don't like what's going on, you're going to continue to get more of it. And those of you all that are sitting back being quiet, waiting for somebody else to do the work, you're going to continue to get more of it. Now, we are going to have some fun today and we're going to collectively exhale, but we got to get the serious stuff out of the way really quickly because, like I said, on Fridays, we go and we talk about news around social media. And yet again, unfortunately, a man has decided to ignore board boundaries and has assaulted, hey David, um a woman. And per usual, there is a woman trying to defend it. Jordan, aka Ojaw, not too long ago took to the TikTok streets. And keep in mind, he's trying to contain this information to TikTok alone. He's not talking about it on Instagram because people are like, oh, he hasn't been online. He hasn't been online. Yesterday, I got a notification from Threads and I got another one from Instagram. I know, same thing, fam, same thing, where it was a brand new video. And I knew it was a brand new video because the information had just happened. The incident had just happened, the information where people were sharing it. And I got a notification and I had told the two people what was going on. Also got confirmation that someone he was friends with and formerly mutuals with, um, that his big money maker is YouTube. Hasn't spoken on it there. And also, let me say this. When things like this happen and you say, you know what, I'm going to speak up about it, but no one can stitch, duet, or download your content, you don't want to speak on it. You want to monetize off of it. Number one. Number two, um, you are not a hero after someone gets hurt and you now come on and go, well, I sensed a pattern. Here's information on where they lied about this, where they did this, where they did that. You didn't share it. You didn't cut off the friendship. You were still chummy with them. In my book, you get written off as well. You all can do what you want. But let me be clear. Once there is a victim, don't come and tell me how you just knew or you had all this proof that this person was a horrible person 8 months ago. So you had 8 months to prevent at least 4 women from being victimized. You had 8 months. And now you want to come out and act like you're doing something noble because you're telling us the information now? And sorry, not sorry. If you were aligned with the Un-F America tour, go F yourself now. Coming out going, yeah, we met because of this tour. Okay, thank you for telling me that you went on the Chase Charlie Kirk tour. Thank you for letting me know that racism wasn't a deal breaker and you still want to be looked at as a hero. We can do multiple things at one time. And right now, Jordan isn't the only one that needs to be sat down. Jordan isn't the only one that needs to be deplatformed. I'm going to get into the full, well, one victim has revealed themselves. And yes, at a bar, Jordan insisted that she sit down with him and someone else. Jordan did start off by putting his hand on her lap. She said no, removed his hand. While she was occupied doing something else, just having a good time, just enjoying the moment, he stuck his hand down her pants. Later on that night, he called her claiming that he could not get into his hotel room, as if front desks don't exist, as if other people were not there as well. Multiple calls. Then days went on. Next day, everybody gets back together. He doesn't say anything. He doesn't say, hey, why are you uncomfortable around me? Hey, did something go on last night? No. A couple days go by. She texts him, like, you're not going to say anything? You're going to act like nothing happened? When she said, hey, you escalated things, he didn't say, what do you mean by escalate? No clarification, no nothing. Then in a video, no face, no case, no voice, no choice, he put up the following in regards to recent accusations. Exactly how many victims do you have past the 4, Jordan? I want to start by saying I'm incredibly sorry to people I have hurt and people I have let down. Being intoxicated does not change any behavior that was mine and my responsibility. And while my recollection of the accusations are limited, I believe and take responsibility for them. I am deeply ashamed of my actions at the bar, the pain I have caused, and the disappointment I am to myself, and although all whose trust I violated. I'm seeking counseling and will be stepping back. My sincerest apologies to everyone. Once again, he's still making content, just not on TikTok. But of course, there's got to be a boy mom to come and boy mom for him. Take a listen.
All right, TikTok, I've got a little rant of my own. Listen, I keep hearing some of the larger creators coming on here talking about another large creator who apparently is being accused by 3 females for essaying. Now, I'm not condoning a sexual assault. I myself have been sexually assaulted. It came from a bearded creator from the right. So I think what you did is you just stepped right into their hands and followed the MAGA way, calling out crap on the left. And I think that's pathetic. We're supposed to be sticking together. I am not condoning what he did. I'm not saying we shouldn't bring out something like that. But here's the deal. He who's without sin cast the first stone. Let me tell you something I know about this creator. I know he's been in the trenches. I've seen him with Jolly, and I've seen him with... listen, if we all are going to do that now, if everybody on the left is just going to go digging up dirt on people, then we're not getting anywhere. You're going against the grain. You're not doing the right thing. What about the fascism? You know, I've survived my sexual assault, but what I'm not going to be able to survive is fascism. Are you? So If your skeletons are completely clean, God forbid any of you who are out here spreading the word about this content creator who I highly looked up to and I still follow. What do you got in your closet? Are you completely free? And what are you doing? You're not focused. We gotta focus. We can't focus on creators on TikTok for God's sakes. That might be people. You're missing the point and you're falling right into the mega hands. It's pathetic. And I stand up for OJAW, who I follow, and I think that there's other large creators out there like Pissed Off Bartender, and there's another guy that he travels with, Jolly Ginger. Where are you guys at? I want to have some support for this man because let me tell you, what are you doing to fight fascism besides making TikToks for clicks and likes?
You know what pisses me the fuck off? It's 5:30 in the fuck.
So because someone shows up at protests, takes a few pictures, takes a few videos, we should excuse assault. And since when has MAGA been known to call out people who are doing things negatively? MAGA is known to cover it up, to make excuses. But because she got over her sexual assault, and screw anybody else fighting the good fight. And this uncovers a multitude of issues that I have with people. You talk about folks that do the fight the good fight. You only pay attention to them when they become a quote unquote big creator. Because if you want to know who's actually doing the work, the big numbers aren't behind them. The ones actually getting things done, you won't know about until many, many years after we're gone. You all still have not learned anything from the life and subsequent death of Claudette Colvin, that the ones that actually bring the change and are actually doing the damn work, you're not paying attention to. This woman, after all the backlash and getting run through the mud, followed up with this.
I guess my big mouth has not outgrown me. I want to tell you that the post I made regarding the creator who's been accused of SA to 3 women, I heard you and I learned a lot from you.
No, you didn't.
I was so upset that he was singled out that I completely missed the point that I was saying all of you missed.
Point. Ooh,
Lesson learned. I do
no,
not
it's not.
condone his behavior, but if we
Yes, you
are
do.
going to make any kind of
You excuse it.
movement heard from our side, then no conduct like that can be tolerated by either side.
No shit, Sonia. No shit. We can chew gum and walk and breathe and talk all at the same time. Excusing behavior, isn't it? And you don't get it because even in her follow up, she said what upset her was that he was singled out. So we shouldn't say anything unless it's multiple men doing it. You're no different than the creator who came out trying to white knight, going, yeah, I knew 8 months ago he wasn't shit. I knew 8 months ago he wasn't trustworthy. I knew 8 months ago that 1+1 didn't add up to 2 with him. You're all in the same damn box. Stop telling me that you are to protect women, that you want to protect femme presenting individuals. Stop saying that you give a damn. Stop saying that you understand. It may not be all men, but it's always a man because you're willing to excuse it and shut up because somebody looks the part of the change. Somebody looks the part of what you've convinced yourself an activist would be. Activism is not profitable. Activism is not a series of on the ground videos and pictures. Activism is dirty. Activism is expensive. Activism is costly in more ways than financial. Activism is litigation. Activism is education. Activism is lobbying. Activism is actually achieving damn change. Y'all done turn activism into knowing a handful of damn names and getting your undercarriages moist and hard because a bunch of people came together and had freaking photo ops. And those of y'all that got together, pretended to call police stations, pretended that you got your hands on certain stuff, that chased victims from platform to platform to platform, shut the entire F up right now. Shut the entire F up. Because if I see any of y'all speaking up when we need to get behind them, I'm going to air y'all asses out. Activism also takes honesty. But let me reiterate this. Jordan ain't the only one that needs to be sat the hell down. And for once, when somebody shows y'all who the hell they are, believe them and leave them. And y'all need to reconcile with the fact that more y'all are pick-me's than not. Because too many of y'all will wait a couple months, let this shit die down, and be right back to sniffing his damn undercarriage. But he's redeemed. He's better now. But now that we've gotten that out of the way, let's get into the fun news that's been going around on social media. Okay? Okay. Whew. Where should we start? Where should we? Oh. Listen to this advice.
I'm Johnson's baby oil. I was made to keep babies soft, but instead of seeing real babies, I see millions of unborn ones. I am the magic wand. I was engineered to cure back pain, but a back is the last place I get used on.
And I'm a cucumber. I was born to... Wait, stay back. I'm not going back in there.
Okay, first of all, okay? I know money is tight. I know everybody getting real creative with their budgets, okay? And they trying to get their rocks off the way they can get their rocks off. But honey, take it back to nature and use your hands, okay? You use your hands, okay? Some of y'all ain't never seen the show 1,000 Ways to Die, and it shows, okay? You can't just be sticking anything and everything up your crevices, okay? Not your boochie cat, not your cooter biscuit, none of that, all right? All right. They have intimate oils for a reason, because some of y'all don't realize you're creating friction and you're gonna blister yourself using And what did we learn from Diddy when it comes to the baby Earl? What did we learn from Diddy when it comes to the baby Earl? First of all, y'all shouldn't be trusting no baby Earl that you didn't buy yourself. Okay, because if you didn't think that them predators ain't take notes during that trial, they're gonna be dosing y'all through the baby Earl like Diddy was. You know people that sell toots. Do you know what, Nana J? Of course you do. Of course you do. If you know what, Nana J, your new name should be I Got the Hookup. You of course. Okay. Fun fact, or maybe not a fun fact, maybe an interesting fact about me. Because I think this will shock y'all, knowing me. Once upon a time, I had a homegirl that I later found out we were related. And before you go, how'd you wait so late to find out that y'all was related? I got a complicated birth history, okay? Anywho, she owned, uh, let's just say it's the intimate version of Tupperware. Okay, in-home shares for all of that. Well, ever so often she would do appreciation parties, and she would also become a vendor at swingers events, hotel parties, and then she would do different events. And she came to me and was like, "Hey, you want to be a model for what, girly pop? For what?" I did learn when it came to her, ask specifics. Ask the specific. When she asked, like, "You want to do something?" You got to ask specifics. And she was like, "Look, I just want you to model. Model what? Model what?" And she was like, lingerie. Lingerie is a very broad scope, because I know some of y'all just think about little lacy, frilly stuff and think that's all lingerie is. No, corsets, all that stuff is considered. So that's what she wanted. Through her line, she was adding like corsets, frilly, boy shorts, stuff like that, where mostly for women who wanted to just feel sexy under their clothes. It wasn't for anybody else. So I was like, okay, bet. Now for one of the appreciation parties, I got up in my smarticle particles, okay? I had these cute jeans, and I'm not really a jean girly. And I was like, I'm gonna wear these with a nice little corset. My bestie was like, I'm gonna wear a corset too. All right. Here's the thing. I'm clumsy. And I don't know if you've ever fallen over in a corset. You know, little prong things that you hook things up. They it's very easy for them to smush down. Yeah, when I fell, we could not get that corset off of me later, because I was just going to the party, gonna wear the little, corset and jeans and little shoes, and come home, take it off. And we were gonna go to the movies. Kids were at a sleepover. You ever had to go to the emergency room so that they could cut a corset off of you? 0 out of 10. Do not recommend. Do not recommend. And I did learn, don't wear a corset if I have to walk a block and a half on concrete, because if I fall on concrete a certain way, I'm pretty much melded into that sucker. Fun times. Fun adventures with Taz. To this day, my friend brings it up from time to time, and she has a cackle. Now, she was a trooper. She came to the emergency room with me, and she's laughing because I'm so embarrassed that I couldn't tell the triage nurse while I'm there. And when I say it pushed in, like when they finally got it off, and you see my complexion. And for those listening on the radio, I am a chocolate sister. You could see, like, first of all, it imprinted down the front of me, but it was so red, and I was so in there. Yeah, it was. Yeah. I was like, I don't want to be cute no more. We won't. And of course, it was so cute. It was like this pink and like dark gray like ensemble. I had plans for that, but then yeah, I have not worn a not worn a corset. No, I take it back. I did wear a corset one other time. Because anybody on Facebook, they've seen the photo shoot in that corset. But I was inside, and when I tell you, the movement was minimal. The movement was minimal. I think it was one of the more boring photo shoots I've ever done. For those not familiar with my modeling days, I was known for like contorting my body, being more on the artistic side of photography and stuff like that. But yeah. Wait a minute, I just had a flashback regarding the chick that I did the photo shoot with. Hey, Brittany girl, how you doing? Want to do lunch? No, we threw a friend in the shower. She used too much of that oil that heats up. Oh, the oil that heats up. I went with a friend and former roommate who ended up becoming an independent seller for my cousin. And she would take me, because believe it or not, with all of my anxiety, your girl can work a room, and especially when it comes to sales. So we're sitting there, and it was like I guess you could call it a shower. We're going, and I was trying to tell the bride to be, who had an attitude that I was there, like I was there to steal her man. Mind you, this was not a co-ed shower. It was just women and work in the room. Okay. And the bride to be, she was pretty young. And her mama, I think, was like a year or two older than me. Mama was fine. Okay. Mama had body. So yeah, me and mama we was flirting a little bit. But old girl didn't want to listen and took a whole, like, we had these you had separate disposable tester bottles that before any of the events, you put whatever products that were going to be tried out in the tester bottles, whatever, so that at the end of it, you could throw it away. The host could keep them or whatever. Well, she started with me, went around, so I would show people like, hey, you just take a little bit, blah, 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 so you get a feel of it. So it ends with the bride to be. Everything was supposed to end with her. And like I said, if she wanted to keep the testers, she'd keep the testers. The way they used to do the parties, regardless of what you bought or what was bought for you, you were going to have a little bit of everything. Okay. Minus the toys, because we can't just, the rest of it, a real woman can handle this. And you just hear squish, 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 squish. She goes up one arm, round that arm, and I'm like screaming, no. And I felt like I was in slow motion. She had on a cute little skirt too, puts it on her legs. The rest of us are in horror. Like, girl, this heats up. And it was enough because I don't hear that well. I could hear it go squish, 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 squish. And she's like, you don't know nothing. You've been sitting here trying to tell me what to do with this stuff all night. And I'm like, oh, that's what I'm here for. I want you to have a good time, not a deadly time. And I was like, whatever. And then I was like, 5, 4, 3, 2. What did you do to me? You trying to burn me up. Bitch, do I look like a syphilis monster? I didn't touch your goofy ass. You want to prove a point. You proved a point. You cooking like a steak. That's what you doing. People started going to get, warm washcloths and everything. People taking, different, we had given everybody these little bottles of, it's like edible soaps. And they're like, oh, put this on the washcloth. No, those soaps don't get you clean. It's not going to get anything off of you. Okay, they would fizz up a little bit, and once it foamed up, you could eat it. It cleans nothing. And I'm like, no, y'all just, she a steak now. She just gonna be a fruity smelling steak. This is what's gonna be. But you like it out. Hey. Now, also making around, sorry, it does. Like, she had a true blue attitude with me, like from the time that I came in. And I found out like a couple weeks later that the man she was married, they didn't even live together. They didn't even live together. She lived on one side of town, he lived on the other side of town. So even us crossing paths during the part, it wasn't. Now, mind you, I know how y'all see me like on TikTok, and y'all done seen pictures like when I decided to step out. When I would do parties, I had a strict rule. My hair was pulled back into a bun. I had this very plain, like black on black outfit that was just very casual. I could move around because I needed to blend in to the whatever background. I needed everybody to focus on the product. So I was as plain as possible. Okay, you couldn't tell if I had a figure. You couldn't tell nothing. Okay, I pretty much looked like SpongeBob if SpongeBob just swapped out all his clothes for black, and it was intentional. If I'm coming to just, you want me to sell something to, I can. It ain't got nothing to do. Like, this man wouldn't pay me no attention, but not a single bit of attention. But also over the I went down a rabbit hole, y'all. I First of all, I got I gotta stop. So, drag queens have found. Oh yeah, three airlines are locking down. One, because they were doing ice flights, not anymore. But drag queens have found a new way of fundraising for people in their neighborhoods and their communities. Um, and how are they doing so? By imitating Erica Kirk. And they're not even having to exaggerate anything. Because, the key to a good drag show is a little bit of exaggeration, exaggerated emotion, exaggerated makeup. They're not. And it's really doubled up because Erica Kirk is going on a speaking tour with a known pedophile. Yep. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And and several have said that they're adding to their shows now because Usha Vance is pregnant. They're now adding a Dear JD letter from Erica to their shows. Come about, I thought it was going to be us. How is it going to be us if I just lost my kid and you making another? I can't. Okay. Now, also, I can't stop laughing. Also, remember last year, Blake Lively, okay, was involved with a movie. Okay, she was trying to do everybody's job. Okay, she was trying to be the assistant, the writer, the director, the coordinator, the set designer, the stylist, all this stuff. Okay, and then we learned that Blake Lively is like Trump, and this is what I mean by that. If it's expensive, she just thinks that it looks good. Like if all the components of the outfit is expensive and you throw it together, in her mind, that just look good. No. But remember, she was trying to sue a co-worker, co-star, claiming sexual assault, sexual harassment. And I was like, that don't make no sense. Because especially during the time that it came out, I was like, multiple people would have been coming out. And when he countersued, and he countersued with evidence, where she was like, I'll give you a ring and all that when we get to court. And they was like, nah, partner, nah, partner. Well, correspondence regarding all of this is being leaked. And Blake's attorney has been out on the interwebs saying that there's mountains of evidence. No, it's not. That she didn't do anything wrong. We seen the text messages where she was where Taylor Swift was helping her try to intimidate this man. And that's the beauty of this. Taylor Swift, are y'all Swifties ready to accept the fact that Taylor Swift is a bitch? She's not a good girl. She doesn't need to be saved. Oh, and side note, the fictional wedding between Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift, they put a pin in it again. Okay, first pin got put in it when he was caught stealing Instagram models' comment section. Second pin was, the fraud allegations regarding his nonprofit. And now that, but y'all take a listen to this.
Blake Lively and Taylor Swift's texts between one another during the It Ends With Us drama have now been released in new court documents, and people have a lot to say about this. Not only that, but Blake Lively also had correspondence with Ben Affleck and Matt Damon, which we'll get into in a sec. What I found most interesting about the entire exchange, to be completely honest, is Blake reached out to Taylor saying like, hey, I feel like things are weird. And Taylor responded saying, they kind of are because I've been exhausted and the way that you speak to me is really, really different. Taylor said she felt like Blake was speaking to her like a corporate executive sending an email to hundreds of employees. Blake responds with a joke, pretending to open it up like a business email, and then apologizes for the way that she's been speaking to Taylor, explaining the reasoning why she was acting like this, and it all has to do with the movie, how it was being received. And these texts were right before the New York Times article against Justin Baldoni was released. In the same text conversation, Taylor sent a People magazine headline speaking about Justin when she said, I think this bitch knows something is coming because he's getting out his tiny violin. This implies that Taylor and Blake maybe knew the New York Times article was coming out before it was released, but I assume that anyway. Post the article coming out, Taylor texted Blake saying, you won, you did it, and
One, Taylor does not like to be treated how she treats other people. Two, I've said this before. The default damsel in distress syndrome needs to end. We need to inject that bitch with antivirals ASAP, because monsters like this grow out of control because y'all love to placate them. Y'all look at slim, blonde women specifically that are white, and you placate them, giving them the impression that what they're doing is okay. And then we get to this point. Because Blake Lively, also in these court documents, claimed to be the on equal standing when it comes to film with Matt Damon and Ben Affleck. Whether you like Matt and Ben or not, they're both very intelligent. They make good movies, especially together. But she, as somebody said on TikTok, what has she won outside of a Kids' Choice? And I don't even know if she won that. Okay. I didn't do no digging. I did not fact check her career because I don't care. There's only one. I don't even know if you can consider it a Blake Lively movie that she did. And it's the only one I can truly recall her being in. But then I realized she's not really in the movie much. And I like the movie because of other people. And I know they recently came up with a sequel. But she kind of runs away and fakes her own death. And that's not a dig. I know I'm not the biggest, into movies type of person, not in the recent movies. But Blakey's own husband is comparing her fervent this trial to that of Johnny Depp and his ex-wife. Where Johnny Depp was actually the victim. And I know some of y'all are still holding on, trying to make Johnny the villain. But baby, evidence don't lie. That man was the victim. I covered that trial in detail. Fact checked everything. And old girl is still making a world tour of litigation. You can't tell me you a victim and a whole damn country is suing you. Oh, y'all didn't know? Australia was suing her too? Also, now I know everybody was talking about the glam bot because of J-Lo. And I saw y'all videos that y'all sent me regarding J-Lo and the bad makeup and all that stuff. And I was going to talk about that. But I took a left turn when I guess I was supposed to take a right turn to stay on the glam bot J-Lo drama. And I found some other glam bot drama that seemed to be a little bit more interesting. Okay. Stop playing with black women. Stop assuming that black women are broke. Okay. Especially when it comes to a black woman's special day, whether it's a wedding, a birthday, anniversary. When a black woman wants to celebrate herself, baby, we'll work 10 jobs to get that coin right, to make sure we're good. Okay? When we're coming to you because we want something, baby, cash in hand. Okay? We cash and carry. All right? So Mr. Glambot, the one that you know, one, he's not the creator of it. Two, told this woman for her wedding that he would charge her $300,000 because it comes with all this staff and all this other stuff. And he was real rude. Like he was trying to pocket watch. And he didn't even check out her profile. A Nigerian woman married an Indian man. Those are two cultures with some of the most extravagant and expensive nuptials. Okay? I've been to weddings for both. I ain't never had it combined like that. A time must have been had. A time must have been had. When y'all do a vow renewal, can I come? I won't take no pictures or nothing. Plus, I get caught up in the experience. I won't even remember to take the pictures or nothing. But anywho, the creator of the actual glam bot was like, yeah, I made it a long time ago, blah, blah, blah. I'm off to bigger, better things, directing films, doing all this stuff. It doesn't take that much to operate it, and it doesn't cost that much. Hell, you could buy the setup yourself for $3,000. There's an official website that he could have just sent this woman to get the details, because she just said, hey, what are your rates? And are you available for this time? And he got all snooty, snippety, and everything else. So I was like, you know what? You and J-Lo might as well date. Because what Bow Wow say when he was still a minor? He don't want to be where everybody want to be in regards, well, where everybody's being in regards to J-Lo. Go ahead. It's just your turn. You done stood in line. Y'all rude as hell to each other and to other people. Be rude to one another. Take the heat off the rest of us. And I know J-Lo is a woman of a certain age. And this is no tea, no shade. J-Lo, are you avoiding getting your eyes checked out? As someone who's done their own makeup, as someone who has had their makeup professionally done, as someone who has had their makeup professionally done where I had no say so, I had to get my makeup done either for an event for somebody else or for a paid gig and people wanted things a certain way. You still see what you look like. So how you have them do Lion King makeup on you, girlfriend, and you didn't notice? Did they cover all the mirrors till you left? And if you've never seen theatrical makeup, you know I'm not being funny. And especially, and I'm saying specifically the Lion King, they got a page. I know they got a page on TikTok, and I love their little video. She looked like she was coming in as the understudy for Scar. And Green Day has been added as the opening act for Bad Bunny. And I love this. I love this. All the very much so practicing non-deconstructing white people like, why? You know, I'm so tired of all these foreigners. Yeah, I know that I'm happy that Papa was Polish. But why can't we have some good white people up there? Well, yeah, I know he white, but he ain't us white. Well, they got Green Day. And for those same people that have this fanfic going, that some way, somehow, ICE can walk out on the field and arrest Bad Bunny for what? For what? For what? Because I want you to think about it. This fanfic that you're writing, that you're putting out there, that you're telling this tyrannical government that you're okay with, means that they can just come into your house and snatch you up and just take you. Because you're not the type of white that they want here. Hey, here's a citizen. And the funniest thing about it, there's a woman whose username is in Spanish that said, and I quote, Super Bowl halftime idea. Bad Bunny walks out, ICE tackles him, and Creed walks out and makes history. What history? What history would Creed be making at the Super Bowl? White people have been performing at the Super Bowl since they started letting professionals perform at the Super Bowl from the get-go. And y'all have halftime shows because of black folks. And before you go, Taz, you always say it's about black folks, because it is. The only thing y'all could come up with was hate and thievery. And you only make thievery illegal when other people do it. Because how you make receiving stolen property illegal now, but y'all received stolen property, aka the land of the United States. But I digress. You have the Super Bowl halftime show because of In Living Color. In Living Color wanted to give people some entertainment during the halftime of the Super Bowl one year, and it was such gangbangers that people didn't show back up to view the second half of the game. And the Super Bowl was like, never again will the darkies take attention away from us. We'll just put more darkies on the field. It was a dream of kings. No, I'm just playing. I'm just playing. I got no business. It did have a little good thing. And rapper Fetty Wap, the one-eyed bandit, has gotten out of prison within a few hours. I mean, he's been out of prison for a couple weeks now, I think. That man is popping up on damn near everybody page on TikTok. Okay, like what the hell? Who doesn't he know? Who isn't he making a video with? I'm not criticizing. I love it. I like seeing the diversity of the people who, one, know who he is, and two, that he's cool with. Because you can tell by the video, they comfortable with each other. Like they've been rocking for a minute. But I'm like, what is this a revamp, or are you just letting us know you ain't as hood as you were originally marketed? Cause what? He was at the Judice house. Like he everywhere. Just doing all the like, was you practicing the TikTok dances before you got released from prison, or do you just learn choreography that quick? Because what the hell? Like choreography is crispy. He just at everybody's house, and also, Fetty Wap, I appreciate you doing with your eye what you choose to do with your eye. You conform to your comfort instead of society. And I believe that is very inspiring to other people. Practice during visits. Yeah, Dana J. Because a lot of people feel the need to either be over the top to compensate and cover up for disabilities or do certain things. And I love the fact that he's like, I don't want a prosthetic in right now, and I'm not gonna rock one. I love it. But I mean, he just out there, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. Get it. Like, okay, but he just everywhere. He got a lot of friends. Fetty Wap seems to be the United Nations of friendship. Cause that man, okay. Okay. All right. Whew. Okay. There we go, Minnesota. It is 3:15 p.m. in Minneapolis. They are taking to the streets, marching down the streets. That's how you protest. Now, while they're protesting, who's suing? Who's out there lobbying? Who's making sure people are registered to vote for these midterms? Y'all got to stop thinking that protesting is enough, because it's not. Tis not. Now, we're going to end on a serious note because there a winter storm has already started to roll in with people. One, put your faucets on a slow drip. Two, make sure you have power banks charged and ready. Have blankets, extra blankets in your house and in your vehicle. Because even if you don't plan on going anywhere this weekend, things may happen that may place you into your car. Have candles, flashlights if you're not comfortable with candles. There are, battery powered candles nowadays. Have some staples. I don't know who started that mess about it's the storm, get bread and milk and egg. What you gonna do with that? Go get some canned goods. See if you can get a rechargeable kettle or hot plate that doesn't necessarily need to be plugged in. Get things that, should electricity be cut, you can still eat. Stop getting the stuff that expires the quickest. Get with 3 people, and the 3 of you check on each other throughout this storm. If you do not have a carbon monoxide detector in your home, get one. Do not light any type of fire in your home. And before you go, well, Taz, that goes without saying. When temperatures dip and should people start to lose power, people get desperate. Unless you officially have a fireplace that is routinely and properly cleaned, don't do it. Even take an old blanket or some old towels, roll them up and stick them at the bottom of any entry doors. And if you have to, take some extra blankets or some sheets and put them over your windows if they're not fully insulated. If you have blackout curtains, then you're good because they're going to be a little bit thicker. But stay safe. Stay on this side of the clouds. All right. All right. I will see y'all on TikTok at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central to continue on part 2 of Nobody's Girl, the memoir of Virginia Roberts Giuffre, one of the victims of Ghislaine Maxwell and Jeffrey Epstein. And just so you all know, joining tonight, you can look back at the previous chapters that we've gone through on my YouTube channel at TazJ77. It's in its own playlist titled Nobody's Girl. We are up to the point where she is in the throes of Maxwell and Epstein. But from that, as always, you too, Nana J. Each one teach one, each one reach one. Remember, don't do anything that requires bail. Not in this economy and definitely not in this weather, okay? And as always, it only requires bail should you get caught. But other than that, go out and get into some good trouble. All right? Keep each other safe. Keep yourself warm.